Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new episode of Transport Fever. I had a really weird thing going on in the last episode because just when I had set everything up for doing a full transportation of goods and its resources, the game decided that it's time to close down the goods factory near Jowett. And the factory used to be somewhere over here. So I was like, crap, what the hell do I have to do now? So I decided to approach it the Dutch way. I knew there was a goods factory in the south. The thing was, I didn't know how to get there. I could split off tracks here and cross the river. But I thought, you know what? Like I said, let's do it the Dutch way. So I built myself a dock. I told you I would uh, add boat traffic at some point. So I built myself a dock. I then decided that with the dock I should transport the wood and the plastic, as you can see. And we got a nice equal number here. And I thought, you know what? I already have passenger transportation. So why not add passenger transportation to it as well? Which, as you can see, I did. Then I had to make the connection. But since this is basically going to be a small drop off and pickup point where this route called port supply is actually going to transport both goods when available and goods in itself. So both resources, planks and plastic, and goods when it came back. I didn't need a big stop. I also needed a stop for my passengers, so I decided, you know what, I simply built a stop at remove one of the platforms, add another platform, and that's it. So that's the result we have here. To make sure that everything gets there pretty fast, I decided let's use trams, which we have here called a ferry tram. It's basically a shuttle service traveling from this area, the city area, to the port. And as you can see, there aren't many people waiting. There are more waiting at the bus right now. There's a reason for it. And that reason is pretty simple. The other part is also sending passengers back and forth. So yes, we have a tram shuttle service. I set up a truck service picking up any wood and plastic here and also bringing it back. What I didn't do, or at least I thought I didn't do, no, I haven't done that, is setting up a line that actually drops off goods inside the city. So I will do that later. I had a double train line running from this station, the cargo, the transfer, to Jowett, to turn it into goods and to go back. So I had that part covered, decided to split it up. One train is actually, and they have the names similar with a 1 and a 2. One train is actually heading back and dropping them off in Ternate. The other train, now I have to go back, was actually heading to Ljouwert and dropping them off over there. And in between, I hoped, you already noticed that one, I will come to that later. In between, I hoped they also would use some of the items to be delivered here. But I'm going to need 129, so I will need a third option. With that covered, the lines being split and things like that, I started working at what I say the Dutch way. So I dug a canal, a pretty long one, all the way heading to St. Anna or St. Anne. And that's where problems started. I ran out of money. Believe it or not, but I ran out of money. Um, Partially because my first plan went wrong because I removed too much land close to the goods factory. So I had to dig it in. The second part is I had to make sure everything in between was green. Otherwise, my ships wouldn't be able to move there. So it had to be deep enough, which is costing quite a lot, actually. Then I removed the roads here. So I had to rebuild that one, as that road is one of the two connections. Well, actually, not anymore, but was one of the two connections between Die Tjerk and Sint Anna. And yes, I'm going to use the Dutch names or Frisian names actually. So I removed this road, this connection, thought maybe I can use a bridge, then realized I can't because that bridge had to be go quite high. So I had to go around and was like connected to the goods factory, but it had the road running straight like that. So I ran out of money. In the end, I had to play the game for a while before I had a few millions. And believe me, if you have a few 100,000 and at the end of the month you all of a sudden see yourself being 5 million in the negative, then it's really like, what the heck happened? But I had to play on and on and on. So by the time I actually had everything the way I wanted to, it's 1942. So I sort of played 5 years, I think, 5, 7 years. So I had to do the same thing more or less up here. These people living in this village would really like to have access to some things. And with that, think of bread, construction materials, tools, goods, machinery, everything I am producing north of the river. And speaking of, no, I covered this last time, so no use for that. So that meant I had to set up a stop. So I did, and actually decided to build a tram bus combination. I had to set up another ferry tram service going through town. Decided that I would abuse part of the route by adding double stops, so the buses and the tram are stopping at the same spots, making it easier to access the industrial area for, only the industrial part for the residents. And of course, while I was working at some things, the game decided, you know what, let's pull a street over here. So I could actually ignore the trams and had the tram going like this, going faster, because they don't have to make stop. But this is more fun. Set up the tram stop up here, and it's a double one. I don't know which one, which terminal, that one. So I could actually, if I want to remove terminal number 2, if I want to, remove terminal number 2 and turn that into, that's a passenger. It will change, but turn it into a cargo spot or add cargo after at this point. So I'm able to transport, import / export goods using the port. Then, with that done, we have one ferry, or actually 2 ferries. It's able to move 150 persons. It won't come to that. This is the cargo transport, and that one is able to do 150 items split in 2 compartments. So as you can see, parts on the back, parts on the front, but it's not even at full capacity. And I set up 2. This one is actually doing less because the number of goods will get up. Same with passenger, but this one is starting to do more passenger trips. So all of that is done. And basically I have unlocked the southern area. And from this point on, I actually may start working more over here. Still, I'm not done because it's 1942, which meant we have new planes being unlocked. First, we had the DC-3. I think that was going to happen more or less at the end of the last episode. And so I changed my passenger transport to the DC-3 because if you compare it to the Junkers 52, it has a capacity of 10 passengers, and so does the DC-3. But 200 kilometers an hour, 331. That's 131 kilometers, or over 50% faster. And we have an awful lot of passengers waiting. Also, I was using the Vickers Victoria for cargo transport. And yes, by the time we got to 1942, I had in mind to actually stop at May 10th, 1940, because that's the day my country got invaded by Nazi Germany. And I thought it was a nice point to stop there. Didn't work out. So the next one I had in mind was to use December 7th, 1941, because at that point, the US joined World War II, and I was like, maybe that's a nice, significant point to start, because around that time, the C-49 also entered. The funny thing is, it says C-49 Skytrain, but the official designation was C-47, so there's a typo made somewhere. I don't know why. Anyway, cargo capacity of 10, so I decided to replace the Vickers Victoria with 8 for the Skytrains. That's one of the changes I did. And as you can see, no, you can't see because there's nothing here. But look at the number of passengers I have waiting here. There's no way I can cover this. I need 15 planes on this route. Simply this route. I got 4. That's 40 persons. A frequency of 5 minutes. But I need 15 planes to transport everybody from this area to that airport, and 8 planes to travel from that airport to this one. And we have even bigger numbers over here, 160, so 16 planes. I should be able to do with 16 planes, the entire route, but this is also 16. And look what we have here. So I simply can't deal with that. There's a lot of air transport going on. But this is what it looks like. We have a very nice looking passenger airline. And we have a very nice looking cargo airline, including, as you can see, the oil tanks. I think this one just arrived because these are different kind of tanks. So that's working well. And when I look at the amount of cargo waiting, I need 117. That makes 12 planes for this. I would go bankrupt. But yeah, so there's a lot going on. I still haven't unlocked all the industries and whatever in the north. But we did have this one. And when it popped up, I decided to start using it. There is plenty of woods and plastic I can use over here. And I actually had the plastic and goods railroads split over both platforms. Then with this one being added, because that one is actually going to Jowett. I think this is the blank plastic goods foods. I have to take a look. Manage line, because I'm not sure what I did. Load planks and plastic. Drop off everything. Load goods. I see, that's what I forgot. Drop off the goods. Load food. And at that point it stops and I have to drop off the food up here. So I made an extra train doing multiple routes, but in general transporting all goods. So the reason is, as I said, I want to start to transport goods from this platform to the city, to the commercial zone. So let's start to build that. unload truck stop? Am I able to build it somewhere where it won't bother? I need to check. It has to go from here across the bridge. If I drop it off here, but I need to do goods. Am I able to supply all? Yep. Probably will have to drop a few waypoints, but I'll see about that later. I need to check up here. Terminal 1, 2 and 3 are still available. Okay. Here we go again. New line. Cargo. Stop. So it's in general already avoiding residential area. Going along this and done. I can live with that. Load goods. Unload everything. That's it. And the only thing I need to look at is the fact whether or not it's heading over the right spot, and it isn't. Which means waypoint. Not going to use that waypoint. No, wait. Before I make a mistake. So 1, 2 and 3 are doing the same thing. There's a big chance, because I'm using this station to move goods from the other factory to the two cities, that all goods from this factory and that factory will be split and delivered here, and as well as the other cities. In general, it's not really a big problem to me, because I'm able to supply 3 cities with it. Like I said, I do need to add waypoints. One up there, and if I'm lucky, nothing else. I need to change the color, because this is a really shitty color. That works. This actually works. There's no need to worry about this. I can keep it. Yeah, there's one problem though. This is one of those 30 kilometers an hour streets. And now it has become a 50 kilometers per hour street. That one still is. That one still is. Done. Name. Copy. Done. Then the last thing that's going on is the fact that a few things changed here as well. First of all, we had a new passenger transport being the Saurer-Tusche bus, top speed 50, 10 capacity, top speed 35, 11 capacity, but the 15 kilometers an hour is outweighing the one person doing less. So I need to replace a lot of buses in the pit. We also got new trucks, all Saurer C type tank trucks, tarpaulin, tipper, and truck with side stakes. So I need to replace those as well. In this case, I need them. Top speed 60, so outside town they're doing 60. Inside they were doing 50, that's it. This is one. The other one will run in Ljouwert because I sold all those vehicles in there because I thought I didn't need them. Big mistake. I did need them. And done. And I also need to set up a new route from this to that. Maybe I did, but I don't think so. Now, this is the supply. But I didn't set up one from here to there. Once again, I got this shitty color. I will rename it in a bit. First, I want to check where it's going through. Bypassing industrial roads, so commercial. This is the only commercial. No, residential, sorry. No, not really a problem. Just a sec, because I got a lot of things coming in. Downside of modern technology. I can do this, but you're also bothered by other stuff, including weather reports I don't want to see /here. So, if it was up to me, I would prefer them to go around. This is a very big road. There's already. That's making things easier. Because I can move this one to terminal 3. And that is close this one. Now it's nicely heading this way, turning into the cargo, the road cargo station, picking up items, driving to the factory, and I may have to do the same thing over here. Wait a sec, so I did have a setup, picking it up, dropping it off here. I'm going to keep using both routes because I'm pretty sure that 52 can be covered by one train. I will, however, not use the new line yet. Both are empty, okay. But I will not use both lines yet. Because I will see what happens. Over time, I may actually use both lines when I start adding Goods Railroad 2, Goods Food Railroad. This heading still to Marham, Hans, Ljouwert. Yeah. One train is heading here and using this one. The other train and setup I made with the goods plastic number 1. Plain plastic goods number 1 is heading to the port to drop it off over there. That's the plan. And I have another one here which is picking up the food, doing the same trip. So I got 2 trains bringing stuff here, but this is 58. I need 52, so any surplus may be transported back and forth. We'll see. It is empty yet. all of it. Ten. Really, that color, people. Look. 7 minutes. I don't even think I need 10. We'll see. And this one will be renamed that. I guess this train is, yep, I bought it and it's on its way, but still needs to wait for him. Won't be long before it actually starts doing things. It should, as a matter of fact, never mind that. So all of that works, which brings me to the last thing. 37 minutes about everything that changes. Holy moly. Last thing, we have new trains. Class A4 was shown, but we got an electric. No, we have seen those. So we don't have new trains. And we don't have new cargo yet. We will get this later at some point. So no new trains. All of that done. So the only thing left to do is selecting my road depots and actually check which ones I have trucks waiting, because, yep, up there. Let's run. I have no idea where it's going to. So I'll have to look. Cross the bridge. Okay. So when it's somewhere around here, I will stop and release it. also having the same color as that tram line, which isn't a good idea. I think with keeping an eye on this one, I probably get a decent impression of what the other one is doing too. Let's see, it says 3 minutes here, 4 minutes. Wow. I can move over to the other one at some point anyway, because I have 5 on Hans and 10 Jowett. So that's already at 145 seconds. Five seconds. That's the train we saw earlier. So the next thing I'm going to do when this is done is starting replacing lots and lots of my vehicles. That one is empty. Oh well, never mind. Hey, I missed my truck. I think I did. Yep, I did. Never mind. $76. Okay, let's move over to this one. That's 109. We'll need more of that one, simply because of, like I said, the amount it gets, the supply it gets. Just wait a little bit longer after it's left. Here a train. Yeah, but that's the empty one. And there's another one. I'm just going to follow those. That's the one supposed to pick up food. Meanwhile, trucks almost. What do you mean, man can't multitask? So this one's going to pick up the planks and the plastic, and that one's going to pick up some food. And I think I'm going to follow that train once. I won't even make that in 12 minutes. Once I have added everything on the trading route. And at some point I will probably devote an episode to following the vehicles. Because right now we have planes, trains, buses and trucks and boats to follow, so that's a lot. That's a real lot. "45 seconds, and then actually that's number 9, and that's number 1, so wow. Time to start the big replacements. So I can do it with this one. 13. That's the fun part. 13. 11. So the tarpaulin trucks are actually transporting less than the other ones. Don't need that one. Locked planks. Same truck. Oil to fuel. I could use oil truck this time. They're actually bed is going to replace by the Saurus, so I'm skipping the Opel Blitz. Tank and towboat. Okay, so we got different boats. Doing 27 per hour, so that's actually more slow. Plastic to machines, that is going to be a tarpaulin. Steel, ditto. Tools. Loading up, dropping off. So it looks like that's working. This is actually most likely going to be very bad for my airline because I'm even more supply over there. Not loading much, so things aren't going the way I wanted yet. this route. Coal mine picking up, right? Yep. Now I got a problem. Ah, no, I don't. I'm going to use this one. The other one is transporting coal and steel, so I'm using a different truck. But we'll see what happens. Oil into fuel. Plastics. Tools. It's going to transport one planks to the next station, which isn't exactly what I had in mind. We'll see. Crude feeder. And we're in the red. Yep. See, that's what I meant. I think I would need about 100,000 at least in cash before I was able to replace stuff. Simply amazing how much money you need to upgrade your trains and everything. And yes, I've been spending a lot of money to increase the size of my network, so that has cost me a lot. Still, a few millions. Just to upgrade your vehicles. And at least I'm starting to supply goods now. So we'll see what happens. And at some point I probably will be able to pick up goods here as well. Just not on him. On the oil either. There's no need to keep it open. I don't have the money yet. Let's check my He's waiting for him. That's when I started building the canal. As you can see, I spent 171 million, which is why I had to run the game to actually get back into the blue numbers again. And as you can see, that didn't last long. That's a big investment. That's been a business investment. So yeah, the balance is going down, my cash is going down. In the end, it's going fine. I mean, I will recover from this as soon as 1 or 2 trains with oil jump in. It's done. That's still going fine. Company score 37. Okay. Low speed roads. Even have the direction pointer over here. And it's going to be held up by that bus. Well, that part worked. Now we have to wait for the next one. To bring that one piece of plastic. We made one good. It's not enough. Anything else will be empty for the time being, at least until we bring more plastics and planks over there. Looks like barely have anything waiting for the other routes. Ah, no, we have 10 planks, 13 plastics. So the next route, this one will be doing better. Might as well do this and enjoy some of the view. This is somewhat something I really dislike, that the catenary actually starts and ends without any support. It's a little bit weird to see that. I had to build it because of the bypass track I was building over here. But that switches, it doesn't look nice. Just like we have here. Maybe I just electrify all of my tracks at some point. That would make things a lot easier. Bicycles are standing at the right side of the poles. Is ugly. So right now I've got a train and a plane in view. Yeah, this is... well, I can tell you one thing. It was too high. At least I know that for next time. Also, we show the maximum speed 80 kilometers an hour, which isn't because of the locomotive, but because of the cars not being able to go any faster. Just the first one, because there's no way those goods will get drop-off points. The current routes in this city. Like a load of passengers just arrived. Check. Picking up the plastic. I'm lucky. The station is basically supplying that's why, so I'm lucky. I'm already supplying the town with the goods. So that's an advantage. That also means that this vehicle could switch to this line. So I don't need that part. Plastic and goods. Simply supplying the factory with the items and heading back to the station to drop it off so I can pick it up with that one. That's what it's supposed to do. try this one, because this one has a slightly more interesting route. Not picking up anything yet. Probably will be doing that in a bit. As soon as all the planks and plastic I just delivered again will be arriving at the factory, turned into goods. And next trip I may actually start transporting things. Also nice to see that the signals are working. Not that I did it right, but actually it's switched from a red light to green light. Hey. Unless I made a mistake, as you can see. That bridge is way too high. I know that next time I will build more bridges at some point. I could have done with about half the height. Look at what happens to the people. Oops! They all dropping in. That's not what's supposed to happen. I guess I have to build my passenger station at the side of the cargo, the passenger bus station at the side of the cargo, and the cargo stop at the side of the passenger station. Something I have to look into, because it's not supposed to happen. Right at this section though. One of the few spots where my train actually moves on the passenger train tracks. Although the one on the right is the bypass on the right, so the passenger train is driving that one, and the center track on the left side is the one set up as bypass, so the passenger train is going to ride at that one as well. 21, 24. Things are working. I was planning to head out here. Let's see. 26 goods waiting, so that's a good thing. 4 goods waiting, so that's a good thing. That means, yep, this one is working. I will send in a lot more now. So that's going to be nice. And over here we have 8 goods working, and in a bit there's going to be another 24 coming in. That's how you solve the problem. I also have 41 million. So I suppose Time to start replacing vehicles again. And I think I may do that as well in offline mode. Oh, I did use the Opel Blitz here. That's what happens when you set up a bus service, and not long after that the game is processing that far. You actually get a new vehicle unlocked. Then you end up with something like signing a bus, and a few weeks later having to do the same thing, or a few game months. Well, game years actually. Log feeder. I think I'm getting to the point where I can't do anything anymore. So hey, it's going to drop off a lot of planks. Using everything I thought. Let's see, what do we have here? Ferry. Ferries are actually those as well. That's amazing. They're being quite profitable, not entirely, but quite profitable. Now I'm having a bit of a doubt. Let's see, we have a ferry here. Whether or not to follow the ferries. Sail along. I think I will. So the game is going to be a little bit longer, which may or may not be something you counted on. Well, the good thing is you can always pause and continue watching later, right? So let's just do it and sail along the boat for a bit, because it's fun and because I want to ride along each and every vehicle the game has, which is also fun. You can always go back to an autosave and continue the game from there when it comes to investments and things like that. So it's pulling in. Time to join it. That wasn't me yet. I lost my view. So this is what a boat rides look like. And we still got, once again, a plane up in the sky, which is quite nice. The only thing that, in my opinion, isn't correct is that land level and water level are basically very close to be the same. That's a cargo ship passing. And we're actually rocking. Nice. Oh, those are birds. I was about to say that a plane, but those are birds. Oh, and we got different bridge types. So I decided when I had to rebuild the bridge here to use a steel bridge instead of a concrete one. I didn't know how it looked, because I'm going to do. Turn, we're going to the rock side of the river. Ooh. Bad captain, probably a little bit drunk. I'm not mentioning anything about where it's from. Anyway, about the bridge, I had the option to choose between the concrete, or I think it's stone, either one, and steel bridge. So I decided to use steel bridge. And yes, I think that looks nicely. Quite nicely actually. Just mind your head, because it's got, yeah, we got a clipping thingy, but never mind that. I think they're crossing each other, moving left to right on the river a little bit too often to my liking. Well, canal actually, it's not a river, because I dug it. Would have been more beautiful if they actually stayed on the same side. Like I said, yeah, I think this too looks quite nice. Also, the passenger terminal looks nice. I almost say it's a little bit like an old montage thing. Bristol Freighter 1946. So I could actually replace the C-47s if I want to. Let's go to him, because this one sounds a lot different. I'm going to change the view too. So instead of sailing along, I even wonder how you could even see something if your cabin is in the back and you have all this in front of you. This one is using pedal system, while the other one was using propeller system, I think. So see the name, St. Anne Port. Two docks. Oh, wait a sec. Oh. They actually have construction on that boat. I will have to change the view. If you take a look at it, they have construction on this boat to lower the pipe, probably to get pass underneath low bridges. They really like to crash into one another, I think. Also funny, but my game is stuttering a lot more in, yeah, sure, sailing straight through the bridge pillar, but the game is stuttering a lot more in this view as it is when I actually am piloting the boat. Well, even now it's working. pause the other screen. Because what a view. Beautiful. But that bridge is indeed way too high. You see it on top of trees and everything. And there's a stone bridge which is actually a little bit too low for ships, but that bridge is way too high. But such a beautiful. I should have taken a screenshot of this one. I'm using very old ships, sort of, and modern trucks to transport stuff. Time to pause again. Because we had new vehicles in the shipyard. Let's see. The passenger ship, no. We have Klondike, which is basically doing everything. I can use it, but I was like 30 kilometers. No thanks. I could actually have used this one to transport everything, except it's two compartments, so one passenger and one cargo, which means I would skip one of the two cargos, and that's not useful. Schaffhausen is capacity 130. Very nice, but actually, I think it's the one. No, I'm not. But I thought this one, capacity 150 at 32, would be better. I think I may be mistaken. But yeah, never mind. So we have cargo ships, both. Then we had the Vandal, which is oil transport, and that's actually the one I have been thinking about to use here for a while to supply the refinery. And now it's doing 26. Now we have a towboat doing 27 and another towboat with a big capacity also doing 27. I don't need this yet. I don't have to replace my current ship. Oh, that is the Schaffhausen. I don't have to replace that ship for the towboat. First of all, because I don't need the 130 capacity. Second of all, because the towboat, I don't need the 175 capacity. And second of all, because the 27 kilometers an hour is actually a little bit more slow as what I'm currently able to do. So I don't see the reason why. It would even be smarter to switch to the Klondike, although I'm dropping in speed and capacity. But there's no need to replace him as long as it works. Plus, I am able to build it to buy it until 1985. So unless something changes and things become better, which only will happen once I actually am able to, where's my cargo train? Upgrade the locomotive and my cars to higher speed and bigger capacity. And that's not going to happen for a while. When that happens and I start removing more items here, and as you can see, there's a lot waiting for those 2 trains already. Once I'm able to do that, use bigger cars, I may start to consider to buy a bigger boat as well. But for now, I don't think that's about to happen. I didn't see it showing up yet. So let's check cargo wagons. No. "80 kilometers an hour, 8 capacity, and that's it." So for now, no. Locomotives, ditto. I'm not going to use this one for cargo either. Not even use those for cargo. So it's these for the time being. And I got an electric one, but also doing 90. Yes, I could do that. 3000 kilowatts, 580 kilowatts. So this is an option. That means I have to electrify all my tracks. I'm waiting for that, but that's going to take a while. So with that, 1 hour 53 minutes. I think I've done enough for today, right? Actually, what have I done? Lots of talking and some upgrading of stuff, but I didn't even set up a passenger service here. And I was looking, but that's the angle. Yes, I did. Okay. I've been showing you around. Look what we have here. Oh, wait. Leaving. So it just left when the passengers arrived. This is the last thing I'm going to do for the last 5 minutes. It'll be fun. A lot of people waiting here. Look at the clothing. Only 17. That's weird. Never mind. Let's see where it takes us. Because this tram is going pretty fast already. lady. So even in the 1940s, jaywalking was a thing. Those buses are nice. I have to improve the bus service here because there are too many people using their car to my liking. I will do that later. There's a lot of things I will do later. A lot of things I have to do later. Well, no passengers waiting. Okay. But I do have to do something about the transports here. So yes. I can actually track all the people
Huh?
too. Hugo Dukes. Really? That's quite a big building. And he has a bus slash tram stop right in front of his door. So makes sense he's taking the tram to get there. Saint Anne bus. No idea which one. This one probably. Doesn't matter. We're able to track people as well. Maybe I will do that at some point. Pick somebody and follow them and see where they're actually going. For instance, somebody we have up here in the station. Let's pick him. Heading to a residential building. Where? In Hans. Okay. So yes, there's things to do, things to like. Let's see if the angle is okay. Sort of. But this recording, this is it for today. I do hope you've been enjoying it. I did. I really did. It was really fun what we did today. And seeing the money going up and down and things like that. Seeing how the trade routes work out. The beautiful view we had from the ship. I've been enjoying it and I really hope you did too. So I do hope I will be able to see you next week. Have a good week. Goodbye.